Osmanthus wine tastes the same as I remember. But where are those who share the memory?
Alright, I guess I'll go with my textual criticism and your editorial direction for the first draft. I have a feeling that the missing Kabuki Mono will end up being the main focus of this paper. Ugh, if only we knew where to find that traveler. From what they say about him, this seems like the kind of thing he'd know about.
Oh, you're the traveler, you say?
Hey, what's with that face? Don't believe us?
No, of course I believe you. Actually, I first heard about your great exploits when I was still in Inazuma. This is my first time coming face to face with you and your mysterious silver-haired companion. I couldn't believe my luck, and out of force of habit, I started, examining the evidence. Sorry.
Oh, Sawada, for the love of... Sorry, we don't get out much, so our social skills are kinda lacking. Traveler, I hear you've helped many people a great deal and been to many places. Would you be able to tell us about Tatarasuna?
Actually, we don't know much about that place either. In fact, we only came over here because we heard you talking about it and wanted to learn more.
I see. My teacher chose this area of research as a personal challenge. He said it's difficult to get into because even Inazumans don't know much about Tatarasuna's past. But who'd have thought that,
If you don't mind, I'd love to show you all my outline for the book I'm writing about Tatarasuna.
Hold on, Sawada. Don't you think that's a bit of a deep dive for a first read?
Well, fair point. In that case, please ease yourselves in gently by taking a look at Akaba's latest essay draft.
Let me give you some background. This all started with the discovery of some records in Tatarasuna. The writings mentioned someone by the name of Mikoshi Nagamasa, who crafted a fine blade. But in the end, he threw it into a fire to destroy it, and killed his servant Katsuragi. Why? Well, no one knows. Apart from the swordmaker, his servant, and the one who wrote this all down, the records also mention a Kabuki Mono. This seems to be an Inazuman word for an eccentric stranger, someone who dresses funny or acts in an unusual way.
That's right. Akaba's teacher has spent quite some time researching these events on the ground. This Kabuki Mono lived in Tatarasuna for a while before disappearing without a trace. And shortly afterwards, as Akaba mentioned, things got pretty ugly.
So first this strange person goes missing, then a murder happens? Seems kind of fishy to Paimon.
Yes, my thoughts exactly. So I helped out too. I asked everyone I could think of if they knew anything about what happened back then. And wow, did I get lucky!
Stop shouting!
This part's important. I just wanted to make it stand out. It just so happens that a friend of mine works at the Government Records Office. He looked into it for me, and I can now confirm that all the aforementioned individuals did, in fact, live in Inazuma over 400 years ago. Even back then, Tatarasuna was already at the center of Inazuma's smelting industry. The man in charge was a government official named Niwa. Curiously enough, it seems like he went missing too.
Wait, so there are two missing people in the story now?
That's right! What's more, Niwa is a name with a lot of history to it. Have you ever heard of the Great Swordsmith?
Oh, the swordsmiths? Yeah, like Ishin art and so on?
Wow, yes. You really know your stuff. That makes things easier. So basically, this Niwa was a distant relative of the Kaidahara clan, the last practitioners of Ishin art. Something then seems to have happened in the Kaidahara clan, leading to their downfall. I don't know the details, but taken in light of everything else going on around that time, it makes you wonder whether it's all connected somehow.
The Kaidahara clan?
Sawada, you left out the biggest detail of all.
Oh, yes, of course. How could I forget? Brace your minds, ladies and gents, for they are about to be blown. Or maybe you won't believe your ears. I wouldn't blame you, of course, because in all my years as a writer, this is by far the most.
Get to the point, for Pete's sake.
According to information acquired by Akaba's teacher, the Kabukimono was not a human, but a puppet.
A puppet?
इतना deep thought में कहाँ खो गया बेचारा.
Aha! Judging by the looks on your faces, you do know something after all.
No! Paimon just meant,
Hello, Monisbai, welcome to stream.
how creepy! The way you described it makes it sound like a ghost story.
I agree, it does. But considering that non-human races in Inazuma are by no means uncommon, spooky events are to be expected. And that's exactly what my book is about.
Oh, bhai,
Please,
Khalifa.
take a look.
तू अलग मजे ले भाई. ये काय चिट्ठी.
Oh, and please read my essay draft as well.
साला ऐसे भी पढ़ लो. क्या है बॉडी? बॉडी 1 2 3 4 ब्ला 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 ब्ला. खत्म हो जा रहे भाई.
Sawada was encouraging me to follow his more creative approach, but I think essays should be grounded in facts. I don't think explaining everything away with mysterious forces will cut it. Oh, how about if I plug the holes in Sawada's narrative with political intrigue? Like, I could put a turf war between rival factions at the center of the whole series of events.
Wait, you're allowed to just make stuff up? Pretty sure you've gone from essay to guessay there.
Akaba, look. Your teacher has researched this extensively. I've reached out to everyone I could think of. Whatever information we have now is all that there is to know. This is as much detail as you're ever going to get. Besides, if there really was a political power struggle going on at anything like the level you seem to be suggesting, what hope would we ever have of finding out the truth?
Good point. Okay, back to the drawing board, I guess. Give me some time. I need to find a new angle on this.
We have some other stuff to do, so we'll have to say goodbye for now. Good luck with your essay!
All right, thank you. If you find out any more info about all this, please.
और किससे बात करनी
Hey,
है?
so that thing they were talking about, it has to do with the balladeer, doesn't it? Okay, then even if we did know something about it, we probably couldn't share it with them, huh? After all, we kicked his butt and got him locked up. Information about people like that is usually super confidential, isn't it? If you ask Paimon, Akaba should just pick a different topic. There must be as many essay topics as there are trees in the forest. There's no point in...
Hello Vanitas, welcome to stream.
Hey, did you see that? He literally just went by, over there. It looked like... the balladeer! No, it can't have been. He got locked up. Oh, quick, let's catch up and see.
Okay. फिर से अंदर बुला लिया था. छोटी बन के छोटी से मिलने आएंगे. I'm no subscriber. Thanks bro. Thanks for subscribe.
Traveler, Paimon, there you are.
भाई humble हो रहा है इधर
Bad
तो.
news. We just saw the balladeer strolling around in public. Did he escape or... Ah! It's him!
Sure enough, you're here.
क्या बात.
Hey! What are you doing in the sanctuary of Surasthana? Aren't you supposed to be laughed at?
तूने आग
I know you must have a lot of questions. Please, allow me to explain.
भाई.
It was my idea to set the balladeer free. We made a deal, and he's gonna do some investigation in Irminsul for me.
सही बात है कोई तो लड़ने वाला है इसकी तरफ से.
You sure you trust this guy?
What did you expect? Why do you think Sumeru would keep me around otherwise? Or maybe killing me is all you can think about. But if that's the case, why haven't you done it already?
पर रेडन इसके बाद आ
Flatter
रही है.
yourself.
और फिर मुझे
It was... Nahida said there's still some mysteries in you to figure out.
Ah, so if it were up to you, you'd finish the job? Guess I had you all wrong. There I was thinking you were just getting cold feet.
Well, that escalated quickly. Not a good start. Could I ask you all to please calm down? But Paimon's worried about you, Nahida. Don't let him trick you.
It's not every day you see people questioning the God of Wisdom's judgment. Just when you think you've seen it all.
Don't you dare try to drive a wedge between us! As long as the terms are reasonable, I don't think there's a problem in making a deal. Even with the balladeer.
Well, I for one have no reason to doubt you. Considering you even struck a deal with the doctor.
Yes, one in which I gained valuable information. You'll come to understand more about that in the fullness of time. The balladeer's power was all but completely spent after your battle. He's no longer strong enough to be a strategic threat to us. That puts him in quite a precarious position. Plus, he's a former harbinger with knowledge of many of the Fatui's sensitive secrets. Being stuck here in Sumeru could make him a sitting duck, depending on how the Fatui plan to respond. Wait a second. Former? You mean he's not a harbinger anymore? I take no pleasure in saying this, but it seems as if the doctor had no intention of welcoming back a loser, so...
Sometimes it's you using them, other times it's them using you. Most human relationships are this way. Certainly all the stable ones are. That's how it was between me and the Fatui, and also between each of the harbingers. So as long as you have some value to offer, nobody will ever abandon you. But after recent events, even I have to admit that I'm not worth quite what I used to be. Well, if the Fatui are gonna reevaluate my utility, I need to have a backup plan for myself.
As we discussed, I don't like causing harm to living beings, and you said you need protection. So, why not join forces with us?
I think these two have made their objection to that idea fairly clear, don't you? And they're your friends, so I guess you'll be siding with them.
Yeah, obviously! Nahida, don't listen to him! Then let's put that discussion to the side for now. We still have time.
Yep.
Today can be a trial run. Where we go from here will depend on how well we manage to cooperate.
All right, then I'll do what we agreed.
Good. Go now, and keep in touch. Nahida, are you serious about this?
अरे भाई मोने एक तो रहने दे रहे उसके साइड लड़ने के लायक.
I have my reasons for this decision. In fact, I'm largely doing it for your benefit. Yes. As I told you once before, there's information about your twin in Irminsul. Oh yeah. Actually, that's the whole reason we came to see you today. So, you have an update on that? Mm-hmm. You may remember me mentioning that the Fatui had not included your twin's details in the Descender category.
Yes.
This is an extremely important point. It's possible that the Fatui have other information that even I don't know about. And since the Balladeer used to be one of them, he'll be better acquainted with this information than I am. He was granted the power to connect with Irminsul when he almost became the god of a new era.
Even though he no longer has the Gnosis, some traces of its power remain in him. He can still connect. The amount of information in Irminsul is vast beyond description. Sifting through all of it without knowing what to look for would take too long, even for me. So I asked the Balladeer to search in Irminsul for any information about the Descenders. He's more familiar with this kind of information, and should be able to find it more quickly.
Exactly! Or what if... Paimon just doesn't trust him! He's treated us as enemies every time we've run into him!
I understand. But sometimes, everything is dictated by which
सूतने
side
के बाद
you're
अकल आ
on.
गई उसको
How things will go in the future depends on what information he brings back. And Traveler, I know what your heart desires most of all. Our minds have connected several times before.
Okay.
There is a corner of your heart reserved for an intense longing. A feeling of being all alone in the dark, searching for the one candle whose light still burns. As Sumeru's deity, it is my responsibility to be on guard against the Balladeer. But as someone who counts you as a friend, I want to do something for you. If this deal with the Balladeer can give you the answers you've been longing to find, then it's worth it. It's my pleasure, really. You're Sumeru's hero. You've more than earned it.
Monstered.
Paimon's still worried about this idea. Is there anything we can do to help?
I was going to contact you about that, but then you suddenly showed up on your own accord. Seems like we have a telepathic connection. In fact, I was going to ask you to supervise the Balladeer on my behalf while he carries out the task I assigned. Even though he only has a fraction of his full power left, that's still a fraction of a former Harbinger. If you could accompany him, it would put my mind at ease. Of course, I'll be there to help guide you through Irminsul from the outside. Great, thank you. Prepare yourselves.
Freelancer.
I'm going to transport you into Irminsul.
और पाइमन को तो बोलने की जरूरत ही नहीं वो शांत बैठी ही नहीं
Wow, it looks pretty different here compared to last time. The colors are gentler. Guess that must be because Sumeru's at peace now.
चलो
Look at that. Hot on my heels. You know, you didn't have to cut your catch-up short just to keep me company. Oh, but I guess you panicked when you realized that I might enter Irminsul ahead of you.
Shut your beak, jailbird! No way a prisoner gets to be so smug!
I understand that prisoners have to put up with harassment from the guards. But right now, I'm on temporary release. So maybe you should think about backing off a little.
Sounds like a successful rendezvous. I need to be quite clear about something. In a few moments, you'll be entering into the innermost region of Irminsul. It is an environment like no other, and the most important place in all of Sumeru. Unlike anywhere else, Irminsul's inner region consists exclusively of torrents of information. You must put aside your differences and be extremely careful as you navigate your way through. I know there are many grievances between you on both sides, but it is essential that you remain calm after entry. This is as much for your own safety as anything else.
Fine. Let's call truce, but only until this mission's over.
Let's cut each other a little slack, shall we? We are going to be traveling together after all. Per my agreement with Lesser Lord Kusanali, I'll be at the front. It's my job to lead the way and get rid of any obstacles in our path. All you have to do is keep your pretty eyes open and try not to fall behind.
You sure are confident. Paimon will give you that. You make it sound like you're even more experienced at adventuring than us.
If there are no further objections, I suggest we get going. Or did you need some time to mentally prepare yourselves?
Ew! Ugh, the snark on this guy. It's unbearable.
We can start now.
Irminsul access granted. Initiating connection procedure.
Is this a small sapling? Oh, darn it! Come on, let's catch up with him.
तो जाने तो दे तब तो जाऊँ. चलो शुरू हो गए अपन.
Wow! So this is the inside of Irminsul. Ooh.
चलो स्टोरी
Payman's
करो फिर
never
आता
seen
हूँ. लाइक
anything
एंड
like
सब्सक्राइब कर दिया.
this.
धन्यवाद.
And it
आओ
feels
मजा
like a
आएगी.
sacred place.
Irminsul is closely intertwined with the entirety of Teyvat. Every bit of information flowing here means something. Pick your jaws up off the floor.
गार्डन के लिए सामान
It's
इकट्ठा
time to
करना
go.
पड़ेगा बहुत.
Why is it that Paimon just wants to do the opposite of everything he says?
Lesser Lord Kusanali, we will now proceed to the heart of Irminsul.
Can you still sense where the heart of Irminsul is?
Yes. Permission to begin searching for
हमें
information
नहीं
there?
हो रहा है पता नहीं क्यों.
Permission granted. Go ahead.
Let's go. Stay close. Don't go running off.
पाइमन सुन लो.
Hey, so, say we did go running off in here. What would happen?
Dead.
What are you smirking at?
I was just imagining the look on your travel companion's face if you went and got lost. Anything's possible in here. You can't rule anything out. So if you want to stay safe, your best option is to stick close to me.
टोपियाँ पकड़ लो. मस्त टोपी है. टहनी पकड़ो टहनी.
These sapling things have spread out.
Those are all packets of information from inside Irminsul. Be careful not to touch them.
अच्छा बता दी. मैं भी उसी को पकड़ नहीं जा रहा था. आज सुबह नहीं किया
looks the
स्ट्रीम.
same in
नहीं
every
वही
direction.
थोड़ा सा काम वाम निपटा रहा था फटाफट.
No wonder he mentioned about getting lost. Huh. What do you know? He was actually telling the truth. Is he mocking me again? What is it this time?
There's a time and a place to lie, but this definitely isn't it. So why don't you relax your guard a little?
दुपट्टा खींच दुपट्टा खींच दुपट्टा खींच.
We're here.
What a
टोपी का कपड़ा.
huge tree!
Lesser Lord Kusanali,
Good, you made it. Are you ready?
ready when you are.
Then please begin. Preparing to access cognitive currents. Establishing waypoint.
The Balladeer's actually doing what Nahida tells him. Guess he must want to stay alive.
The rest is up to you. If you discover anything at all, make sure to share it with us.
Okay.
Will do.
Huh. For once, we're the ones with nothing to do.
Traveler, Paimon, would you like to talk? Yes, I've also invited Paimon to join.
क्या बात है सर में
What the?
रूम बना दिया
We
कभी
can
कभी.
talk to each other inside our heads?
That's part of it. Plus, we're all friends. There's nothing wrong with us talking like this once in a while.
Paimon's never tried this before. This is great! So, Paimon's been wanting to ask you something. Don't you think the Balladeer's a bit of a walking contradiction? He's always talking back, but he seems to listen to what you say.
As I've told you before, there are still some mysteries for him to resolve. Things that are clear as day to me, but that he has yet to understand. Perhaps today will be the day that he finds some answers. Well done. Smart and attentive as always.
क्या बात है.
So, you made contact with that part of his mind. Well, it's true. Betrayal turned the Balladeer into the person he is today.
Huh. Paimon thought nothing could get under that guy's skin. Turns out, he can get hurt and angry just like anyone else.
Everyone has a history, Paimon. Even if you're a puppet created by the Electro Archon.
Speaking of puppets, we ran into two people at the Academia today talking about an essay. Turns out their topic was about the Tatarasuna incident. Nahida, do you know anything about that?
If you mean the mysterious events, the Kabuki Mono and so on, yes. I know about all of that.
Really? Because from what they were saying, it sounded like lots of Tatarasuna's history is still unexplained. And most of the information we have now is just from people filling the gaps with their imagination. At least that's what they thought.
Oh? How interesting. Those two managed to deduce quite a lot through guesswork alone.
So the Gese got it right?
Well, they guessed right about one thing. Tatarasuna was sabotaged.
Must be a riveting conversation you three are having. Funny how all the good ones happen when I'm not involved.
What makes you think we're talking to each other?
Don't insult me. You're having a private conversation without me. Obviously, I must be the topic of said conversation. Of course you do. You can't have your prisoner knowing too much.
So, have you found anything yet?
Still looking. Don't get your hopes up, though. You and your twin come from outside this world. It wouldn't surprise me if there was nothing on either of you in Irminsul at all.
Wait! How did you know about that? Did Nahida tell you?
It's not like we've never met before. And anyway, you're world famous. It'd be more surprising if I didn't know a few things about you. Right now, we have to keep the peace. I'm not interested in creating more misery for myself. And making cordial conversation is something I can manage. Huh? Wait.
This light. It looks similar to those saplings. What could it be?
Anonymous data.
Hey, don't you forget the agreement. You have to share it with us.
Shh. Just wait.
Mr. Niwa, are you certain this is worth the risk? We are talking about Tatarasuna's furnace, after all. It may not pay to act rashly.
There's no one else who can enter the furnace. It has to be me.
Is that so? Well, since you insist.
It's...
Whoa!
क्या हम अंदर आ गए मेमोरी में मजा आएगा बैटरी कितनी है 91
I have been in Tatarasuna for some time now. You have shown me great hospitality, as has Mikoshi Nagamasa, and indeed, everyone else. Under your leadership, Tatarasuna is a warm, welcoming place. Like a giant village. People are gainfully employed. Their lives have purpose. They are motivated. As I understand, the Raiden Shogun has, in recent years, eliminated much of the evil that plagued Inazuma. As for Tatarasuna, it was originally established as a means of safely disposing crystal marrow. The forging industry with crystal marrow as a raw material has since flourished, giving rise to generations of swordsmiths. Some world-renowned, others unknown, all passing on their legacy. Skills, blood, dreams. Every smith brought into this trade looks to find their purpose between steel and blade. That is why you accepted the proposal brought to you by myself and Akame.
Yes, well, were it not for you coming to Inazuma and happening to make Akame's acquaintance, the two of you never would have joined forces. And he would be the first to admit that there's no way he could have revolutionized our forging process like this on his own. At least not on the same timescale. You allowed Akame to take all the credit for a method that you jointly developed. He sold it to me, and now every piece of ore here is smelted using the new technique. Even now, you remain one of Tatara Suna's key consultants, working right here alongside us. I believe it is you, sir, who are truly responsible for the changes in our manufacturing and forging methods.
You flatter me. From the outset, I saw much that was commendable in the forging industry of Inazuma. And it has been my great honor to befriend you all.
So you say, Escher. But is this really the truth?
My good sir, what do you mean?
I tried to resist thinking it was all connected. Because I didn't want to speculate. And I didn't want to believe that things could turn out this way. What have we gained from adopting your new technology? Ominous black smoke? Mounting production problems? Worker fatigue and casualties are up and continuing to rise at an alarming rate. And recently, as you well know, someone died because of that strange filth inside the furnace. We've kept the truth from spreading outside, but still, I suspect you understand it better than I do. None of the people who went out to get help have come back. Now, our mutual friend, the Kabuki Mono, is taking the Golden Feather to Narukami Island to seek an audience with Shogun. This is our last hope, but that doesn't faze you, does it, Escher? Nothing does. Otherwise, why would you still be standing there with that smile on your face?
I'm just surprised that you finally chose to be so sincere. I'm sure you've been harboring these suspicions for quite some time.
Mikoshi Nagamasa may have noticed that there was one common denominator among all these events. Namely you, Escher.
After all, Nagamasa is the adopted son of Mikoshi Torichio, the yokai struck down by the Shogun's own hand.
You're well informed on the subtleties of his situation for a mechanic all the way from Fontaine.
Why, Mr. Niwa, are you suggesting I find a job as a diplomat?
Enough, Escher. I'm here because an evil force is raging inside the furnace. And someone needs to take your new device inside the high-risk zone so we can absorb it and put an end to the problem. I'm in charge here. And I'm about to take some responsibility and head inside.
Judging from the look in your eyes, you don't seem to trust me.
Drop the act! We're past that now. Whoever you are, it looks like your plan to destroy Tatara Suna has worked. I just want to know what you're still doing here. What's left? Don't you have all your answers by now?
Honestly, I'm just waiting for the right moment.
पेल दिया गरीब को.
A moment like this, where you finish talking and I stop you from entering the furnace.
You...
You're a little smarter than I initially gave you credit for. I thought I'd disguised myself exceptionally well, at least for the first few days. But to my surprise, you had your people look into my background right from the start. It's a long journey from Inazuma to Fontaine, but that didn't stop them. Eventually, they managed to confirm that Escher was an alias, and that I was not from Fontaine at all. And yet, despite all of that, you still fail to realize my true identity, and what I seek into...
If you kill me, there's no one who can get inside the furnace. So
Oh, but you're quite wrong. There is one other person. Some may not see him as a person, but you took...
whoever you're working for...
It's no trouble if you must know.
Fatu?
Just to create...
That's it.
Look how even the righteous soul is filled with venom when my device... It is easier for a... Make no...
बहुत लंबी स्टोरी चल गई रे बाबा.
What a beautiful way to see the... Think of me. I say, Mr. Niwa, let's see what happens. Will your puppet friend become Mr. Niwa? Jester, I have completed the task you gave me. Create... I'd like to...
लग रहा था डॉक्टर ही होगा. थोड़ा डाउट मतलब.
Hey, are you alright?
Dottore. Dottore! Good. Good.
Was that the doctor? Did he turn into a mechanic from Fontaine? But why did we see things from his perspective?
When I touched the doctor to confirm whether he'd eliminated all his segments, I read this memory in his mind. You have to admit, it must be the truth.
Maybe so. But it means nothing.
Does it? But this memory shows that Niwa didn't betray you. He never meant for you to be the one to take the device into the furnace. You know very well what that means. Even more so than I.
Let's give him some space. He looks really mad. Paimon doesn't want to be anywhere near him right now.
We need to give him some time to process his emotions.
Paimon's still confused about the Tatarasuna incident. So, the doctor was behind it, but why has that gotten him so worked up?
Nobody has ever deceived you like that, Paimon. It's natural that you find it difficult to understand. Perhaps he needed to learn this someday. So now you have the complete picture. Katsuragi took the Kabukimono to live with the people of Tatarasuna. Later, the doctor showed up, disguised as the mechanic from Fontaine. And that's when the trouble began. It was all a horrific experiment planned by the doctor. Everything he did was just to plant seeds of disaster in Inazuma that would bear fruit in the future. Of all the unwitting participants in the doctor's experiment, the balladeer became the main test subject. After the events you just saw in that memory, the doctor put Niwa's heart into the device and handed it to the balladeer. Then, he instructed him to enter the furnace and absorb all the filth caused by the smelting process. The load was far beyond what he expected, but the balladeer survived. He left the furnace in sheer exhaustion and said to the mechanic, "This device seems to have protected me. What's in it?" The mechanic answered, "Niwa fled this place for fear of punishment, but he left you a gift. He said it's the one thing that you've been looking for." He took it straight from the chest of one of his innocent servants. The mechanic removed the withered heart from the device as he spoke. The balladeer was stunned that such unthinkable cruelty had brought him the thing he'd been longing for his entire life. A heart acquired through cold-blooded murder is a cursed thing, but it had protected him from the filth. He thought Niwa had completely betrayed him, and yet this very betrayal had ensured his survival. Overwhelmed with anger and sorrow, the balladeer threw the heart to the ground and left Tatarasuna without looking back.
Holy moly. So the doctor killed an innocent man and pinned everything on the victim? That's terrible.
डॉक्टर हत्या चढ़ा तो बहुत बुरा मारे कहेगा मेरे से.
Yes. Only if he understands this can he choose a new path forward.
Dottore, you brazen-faced... Niwa didn't run from justice. You killed him.
Shall we see how he's doing? Hey, you alright? That's a scary expression.
Are you worried about me? If we didn't have such a history, I'd almost think that qualifies me to be your friend. It won't. I'll keep my end of the deal.
Hey, are you investigating the...
That's why we're here. But unfortunately, there's no information about the Descenders in Irminsul.
Even if you can't find anything, that seems to confirm it. Irminsul does not keep records on the Descenders. Anyone who comes from beyond this world is not counted as part of Tevat.
Oh, does that mean we have to leave empty-handed?
Don't thank me just yet. You look really upset. Well, since Irminsul was a dead end, I guess I can share some other info that might interest you.
Huh? About what?
The reason why there are records about your sister in Irminsul. It might have something to do with Conria. Apparently, Conria was her first destination when she arrived in this world. Plus, she only came to this world because the heavens responded to the summoning.
The heavens responded?
The Jester told me this himself. You can take his word on this. He was a royal mage in Conria, and lived with your sister for a time. I don't know the details. It's up to you whether you want to believe me. All I can say is, I wouldn't lie to you about this. Did you get all that, Lesser Lord Kusanali?
Okay.
Yes. Astonishing news.
Does this info count towards my mission? It wasn't from Irminsul, but was it valuable?
Very valuable.
Good. In that case, I'll take some time for myself now.
Huh? What have you done?
Lesser Lord Kusanali was right. My power's all but completely spent. Even if I use all of the divine power left in me, I can't sustain this shield for very long. I shared a secret with you, and now you owe me. So in return, I'd like you to answer a question for me. Give me your hand.
हाथ मांग रहा है.
Can you hear my voice inside your head? No, I can't do anything like that anymore. At most, all I can do is exchange a few words with you. So tell me, in this world, is it possible to change the past? Done.
Huh? What happened?
Nothing. I was just thanking him for helping me. So long. I suggest you get yourselves out of here quickly.
Where are you going? Hey, wait up! Didn't you say not to go running off?
Fast reaction time. But I don't think we'll be seeing each other again. From this day forth, the names Balladeer and Kabukimono will cease to exist. Those who died in Tatarasuna because of me deserve another chance at life.
Hey, Balladeer! Don't do anything stupid!
You know, I never did like insects. Hordes of the puny things swarming together can be a real nuisance. And I enjoy nothing more than to stamp them out like the pests they are. But if a colony of harmless ants isn't threatening anyone, I guess they deserve to be left alone. Luckily, everything can be set right. It's time to solve this once and for all.
Balladeer! Balladeer! Uh-oh, he disappeared. Come on, we gotta find him somehow.
Electro Balladeer.
Oh no, he's really gone!
Oh, can you hear me?
Nahida!
Traveler, Paimon, Balladeer, what happened just now? I was suddenly cut off by some kind of power.
It was the Balladeer's fault. He shut you out!
I didn't think he'd be capable of something like that with so little power left. Did he keep some of his power hidden when he was defeated? Or did he achieve something beyond his abilities, and it took everything he had?
Okay.
Where the heck did he go? Ugh, it's all our fault. We were supposed to keep an eye on him. Sorry, Nahida.
Don't be. It's not. We're running out of time.
बाहर आ गए हम लोग.
We're out! And we're at,
This is an emergency. I'll have to ask you to stay here for now. Everything's arranged, and nobody will disturb you. I'm sorry, but this isn't something I need your help with. Leave this one to me.
An emergency? How bad is it? Nahida, will you be okay?
Don't worry. If my assessment is correct, though there may be some minor disturbances, it won't lead to a disaster. Please rest and recover your strength here until I say it's safe.
Her voice has gone. Paimon can't shake the feeling that something really big has happened. What do you think the Balladeer meant? And why did he suddenly grab onto you before? He wants to change the past? But surely that's impossible! Right! You can't just rewrite history. All that stuff happened already in real life. It's like, imagine Paimon drank all the water in this inn. Even if no one was there to see it, Paimon would sure as heck remember drinking it. So, why does Paimon still have a bad feeling about this? Paimon can't help but feel scared about what he might do. Ooh, Paimon's so confused. Huh?
तोड़ दिया.
Sorry. Paimon accidentally... It's the Balladeer's fault for causing Paimon all this mental stress. But erasing yourself from history? It's unthinkable. Is that really possible in Irminsul? Uh-oh. Paimon's head is overheating from trying to understand what he's up to. And it's still not working. Ugh. Paimon's had it with that little brat. He's been nothing but trouble ever since we met him.
Okay.
There's no way he'll actually succeed, right? Otherwise, won't everyone who's connected to him be affected too? There's nothing we can do about it at this point. Hey, have you got any ideas on what we should do next? Seems like now there's nothing left for us to do but to go to sleep. But Paimon's still so worried. Paimon won't be able to sleep a wink tonight. So, how about, we list all our favorite... Alright, Paimon will start. And Dre and Chili... Oh!
खाना ही सोच रहा उसे. यूं. सुबह हो गई. पाइमोन लेट उठ रही है इस बार.
What was Paimon supposed to be doing just now? Paimon was, talking? Huh. Paimon suddenly can't remember what she was talking about. The Balladeer? Is that a food too? Huh. Weird name, though.
किसी को याद है बाकी भूल गई.
What's wrong? Your eyes are like saucers. Was it something Paimon said? So, the Balladeer. Is that someone's name? 'Cause it sounds like a nickname or something. Okay, sure. Where are we going? Huh? Fine by Paimon, but is everything okay? You're acting like this is an emergency.
मीना ज़ूमा चलेंगे अपन मीना ज़ूमा. तैर के चलेंगे. हमारे पास गति से भी ज़्यादा तेज शक्ति है.
Surely it'd be more interesting. Please speak to President Song.
We've made it to Amanoma Smithy.
Ah, it's been a while. Of course. Go ahead. No. Now there's a question I was the once read the art of most of the great, but fortunately, if my memory...
Oh, yeah, we learned a bit about the decline of the Raiden Gokuden then, too. It seems like such a shame.
In fact, he told me that there is no the Raiden Gokuden.
Vengeful?
400 years ago, so I'm told, there was Tatarasuna was home to a state-of-the-art forging and smelting, knowing that they had just one check, the smith's death, in his heart, powerless, alas. Finally, in his fury, he murdered indiscriminately, killing even bladesmiths from the Hyakume clan, which he belonged to. His goal was absolute, but when he came to the Kaedehara and Kamisato clans, his killing spree came to an abrupt end. He failed to catch them unawares. They fought back, fierce. That is why the Kaedehara clan and their Ishin art survived that day.
Was there anything else you wanted to ask?
Kazuha? Why, yes. Just yesterday, in fact. We spoke for... My pleasure.
Don't tell Antonin. We're here. This is the...
Traveler! It's been a while. If you're looking...
Are they...
The commissioner...
What do you think? Shall we go in?
If it were anyone else...
We'll be heading in there.
Hello, dears. Is there something you want? Of what would you like to know? Oh, there, as for...
So pretty.
Very...
Well, got any more questions?
You're very... Miss Kami, I must say... Whenever the commission, they say, they get Miss Kami's. It's been as someone, so in the future, wonderful.
Paimon's itching to try.
Of course.
Goodbye for now.
ब्रो अरे आने तो दे मैं खुद बैठा हूँ तब से यार
Don't worry.
All right.
ये स्टोरीज वाली इतनी बड़ी दी है कुछ है ही नहीं
Are you two leaving already?
Yes.
Yep.
Very well.
थोड़ा सा नए कैरेक्टर से खेल के तो देखूं ये तो मौका ही नहीं मिल रहा चलो जब
Well, here we are. But
Do my eyes deceive me, or is that...
Xavier, what are you doing?
I was in the general area.
We have some questions and thought you might be...
Certainly. If there's anything you want to know, just like the back... Not only that, but I've met people... I'm told that its history is one of...
A couple?
One was just... They say he...
Hey, weren't you gonna ask that?
Oh, I...
Me neither.
What brought this on? Did you just wake up to... Sure, go ahead. A kabuki? I do know the word, but sadly, I... Of course! Oh, you're... Farewell.
किसको पता था सुमेरु का टच
Looks like you got all the information you're looking for. Sure, keep your smile, Spinal Crocodile. No matter what happens, Hey,
Spinal Crocodile. देखते अपन फटाफट खत्म करते हैं फिर थोड़ा एक्शन भी मांगता अपने को
Hey, it's them!
Akaba, Sawada, you're still here?
Indeed we are.
We have time.
It's the same top.
Still looking for more info about Tatarasuna, huh?
Let me do some action.
Unfortunately, we haven't made any real progress. Huh? Oh!
I presume you'll want to read my...
Well, what do you think?
Hey, Traveler, remember how last time
What did you find out?
It's a long story.
Wow.
Well.
Ugh. This new information...
Yes, okay, point.
And they're back at it.
Oh, so...
You're welcome.
Keep us in the loop.
Will do.
Speed. साले का मुंह नहीं दुखता क्या साला का छोटी समझ ले छोटी जाएगी
Nahida, we're here.
Traveler, Paimon, how have you been?
Ugh, where to start? Paimon hasn't had a moment.
The balladie. You look troubled. Traveler?
Hey, what's wrong? You look so upset.
कोई 50 रुपए काटो पाइमोन के ओवर एक्टिंग का दे नहीं रहा यार मिहो ये वाले से बालादीरा वेनिमो हो जाएगा ओके चलो कोई ना
That's quite a story. So, this puppet known as the Balladeer, Eric...
But how was he even able to do that?
Nightwood कैसी हो
As the Traveler said, he very nearly became Sumeru's deity. Admittedly, I remember it a little differently. I don't recall finding anyone inside the machine after we defeated it. Nevertheless, it does make sense. If someone were to successfully erase themselves from Irminsul, the world would change to reflect the new reality.
Okay.
So, you believe this person really existed, and we just don't remember him because... well, because he literally changed the world?
Yes. Theoretically speaking, the Traveler comes, so if there's anyone in the world... I can only make inferences. Something else worrying you? Something that you can't share? It couldn't change the fate of the ones who had died. Once the Balladeer he couldn't keep hating the story make the Balladeer that power that...
Yeah, it just feels so...
Please wait a moment. Found it. This should be the one.
क्या बात है
It turns out that I have a strange way of confirming everything he has told us.
What is it?
A record from a personal collection. You should take a look.
Is this a fairy tale?
I authored this record.
Huh?
When combined with the trap...
Hold on.
Yes. Changing the Irminsul.
That's incredible.
And sending this story, but if we can... There was once a lone monster draped in a fox fur. The monster found a family of foxes, joined them, and they became friends. The monster lived with the family day and night, and everyone treated it as one of their own. Once in a while, the monster would take off its fox fur at night and lament to itself as it gazed at its reflection in the water. I am a monstrosity, yet they are too foolish to see it. I pity them. But the monster soon found solace when another came to live among the foxes who was not their kin. A kitten, carved from the wood of a white tree, who had been abandoned by the humans. The kitten too wished to become a fox, but its tail was too slender, and it could not grow a coat of richly colored fur. Yet when the other foxes saw this, they spoke words of comfort to the kitten. Even without a tail and fur like ours, you are still one of us. Furious at this happy resolution, the monster lit a fire on the mountain. The terrified animals panicked as the fire spread. The only way to extinguish the flames was to make a sacrifice. A gray fox stood up and addressed the monster. It said, "You are the cleverest among us. Surely you can help us find a way to solve this." The monster smiled, led the fox toward the fire, and murdered it. The gray fox's heart was turned into a beautiful drop of water, clear, spotless, and pure. The monster gave the heart of water to the kitten, telling him, "The foxes have decided. You are the one who must be sacrificed. Take this, quench the flames, and die for your fox kin." The fire was extinguished, but the kitten lived. It left that side of the mountain and found a little bird who had a broken wing. The two promised they would spend their whole lives together, but the little bird did not have long left to live. It passed away soon after. After burying the bird, the kitten left the mountain for good. Never again would it cherish a single creature, nor a single blade of grass that stood on that mountain. The kitten spent the nights wandering aimlessly, gnashing its teeth at the moon. How it wished to swallow the moon and devour the moonlight. If the world could only return to darkness, then it would finally be peaceful and content. I will become the new moon, the answer to everything. Then, no one will know that there were once birds, foxes, and cats in this world. And no one can know that they were different.
We solved it!
I remember now. This is not just the Balladeer story. It is his very own memories. I made a backup so that it would be preserved no matter what happened. To become a god, he was experimented on and modified countless times. It was brutal torture, and the only reason he was able to survive is that he was a puppet. This memory was extracted from him by the scholars. Presumably, they kept it to have something to defend themselves with. Creating a deity was just the first step. Some of them wanted to be able to control it. That's why they backed up his memory for later use. I buried it deep inside one of my own dreams, and then hid it inside an allegorical story so that it wouldn't be altered.
It's hard to believe that this person really existed, let alone that he tried to get rid of us on more than one occasion. Paimon has no memory of him at all. He completely vanished like a puff of smoke.
The Balladeer agreed to help me look for information about before he vanished. We still don't know how the change to Irminsul will affect the senior ranks of the Fatui, but in all likelihood, they won't.
It sounds like Paimon wouldn't like
this. Is why wisdom alone cannot answer all our questions. So the answer is not everything. When you give someone the truth, you give them a chance to choose. To others looking on, never forget that even... And that is what you have been doing.
Yeah, Mihida's right.
Good idea.
You got it. Come on. Let's go get a snack from one of the stalls in the Grand Bazaar. That'll be sure to lift our spirits. It must be really tough being...
There's a few things...
बांसुरी टाइप मेलोडी बज रही है जब भी कूद रही इससे पर
Curiosity deserves a reward. फाइनली पैदल आ गए नीचे तक
We're here! What should we eat first? Hey, are you gonna answer or what? Alright, whatever you want. Well, Paimon will be right here when you figured stuff out. Then we can get something to eat.
रेट से मुझे भूख लगाई
What is it? Have you figured it? Why'd you jump up?
Excuse me, boss. There seems to be a small problem with the last bill. Look, here.
ये आ गया बैलेदीर यस हटा दिया उसने अपना वो दुपट्टा पीछे वाला
Hey! Hey, wait!
You mean me?
No, not you. That kid. Didn't you see? Little rascal grabbed my... Look, if you're...
I wasn't paying close. I think you're right. Maybe it's this.
Who's that guy? You know him or something? He's who?
You're a strange one, kiddo. I don't want to take advantage, so I'm happy to pay you what I'd pay anyone else. But if you keep acting like this, pretty soon I won't be able to afford to.
No, please. I mean it. You don't need to pay me anything.
You're welcome, I guess.
Leave it to me. I'll find.
Stop. You don't want money.
That's right. We can talk more about that later.
Hey, what do we do now? Okay.
ये 152 मीटर किधर चला गया
Yeah, this'll do.
Even though you say he's the balladeer, what are we planning on? Oh, all right.
This should be enough. Guess I should Huh? You two over there. Is there something I can help you with?
He spotted us!
You've been following me all the way from the city. I'd have to be blind not to notice. Have we met before? No, we haven't met. But you know me? I have no recollection.
Are you absolutely...
Sorry, but I just can't take your word for it.
A puppet? What makes...
Huh?
You were right! The look on his face!
I guess you do know me after all. That is not something I share with a lot of people. Look, I'm just a wanderer. But seeing as you've gone through all this trouble to track me down, I'm sure whatever it is must be important. Okay, but please let me deliver these goods to my boss first.
Are you really working for that guy? He said...
Yes, I ran into him out in the wilderness during a storm. and he let me take shelter in his cart. In return, I said I'd be his helper for a while.
That's oddly nice of you.
Let me take these back.
Let's
Then I'll
see what we will do about that.
Here you go, boss. I'll leave them right here.
Oh, you really went and picked...
Something's come up.
I was just...
What?
I get... But look, imagine you... But anyway, taking you in didn't put me out even...
But I don't...
मेरे की बत्ती बुझ गई लग रहा है.
No. Then I suppose this is where we say goodbye.
Don't mention it, kiddo.
Thank you. All right, done. Thanks for waiting for me.
वंडरर तो ट्विटर के एम्प्लॉय से भी जल्दी काम से निकालेगा. ट्विटर वाले चल भी तेज रहे थे पुराने वाले. अपने आप को भगवान ही समझने लगे.
What's wrong? Huh? Are you?
Hello. I do apologize for the sudden intrusion.
We found this guy in the street, but he doesn't seem to remember anything. So, yeah, quite an eventful walk.
You say that you're trekking across to Vat to train yourself. Many other Inazumans who describe themselves in this way call themselves Shugenja. Why do you refer to yourself as a wanderer?
Well, it seems more relevant in my case. To me, it sounds like a plant with no roots. But these two claim that they know me, and that I have a hidden past unknown even to myself.
I wouldn't call it the past, but rather... this is a difficult one to explain. I don't like to rely on using terms like this often, but in your case, it seems that it ought to be called previous incarnation.
Oh, like a past life or something?
Yes, something far more distant than the past. So far away that you cannot perceive it.
Okay, I have to ask. Oh, you want to tell me, but you can't bring yourselves to say it. If it's that difficult to talk about, but I'll be able to handle it.
Is truth something you can...
Yes.
Then I'll be straight with you. You drifted from place to... actions rooted in...
अरे उसको छोटा सा flashback दो ना.
I gave everything I had, but it...
In terms of the outcome alone.
I don't think I can judge everything I've heard purely in terms of right. Each choice a person makes...
That is the nature of truth.
It seems...
We're not trying to hurt you.
If we were enemies, why are you trying to help me find the truth?
This is so frustrating. This guy's supposed to be our arch enemy, but now he's just some random stranger we met on the street. He's got so much to answer for, but we can't...
Lesser Lord Kusanali.
Yes, it's all...
Please, I want to see them.
Even though it's...
I'm just a...
Very well.
Wait.
Don't worry.
Traveler, could I ask you to supervise him on...
Oh, good.
Understood.
अब साला हमको ले जाना है इसको. और टीम ले जाए भैया. ये ले चलते हैं. थोड़ी सी लड़ाई तो हो. Let's see what we will capable of.
Right now, you're in these memories.
Sounds like an immersive
You don't need to do this for me.
We never give up halfway.
All right.
Wanderer.
Is that because
you...
I hear foot.
This place is No, there...
This man
and the rest is
in the original.
Let me get...
During the Tatarasuna incident, Niwa was murdered by the doctor, disguised as the second, but
Katsuragi seems like he was a good guy.
He looks like a warrior, but he has a kind face. Why couldn't he live a long and happy life?
Nagamasa, I found this young guy in a cave sealed off by a landslide. He doesn't remember his name.
Well, we need to call you something. I hear the workers are calling you the Kabuki Mono.
It's fine with me.
Katsuragi, report to Niwa. Tell him we have someone new joining us.
सीढ़ी वाला चढ़ना भूल गया रे गेट दोबारा खोल नहीं सकते यहाँ से जाने की जगह छोड़ के सकता है
Huh? What are we doing back here? Whoa.
I was abandoned.
Okay, I heard he kept calling.
But you can't.
Yup. This child didn't after leaving.
What happened to...
He died from it.
Hey! What's wrong? Say something! You promised me we could be family!
The voices of...
Let's keep going.
Yeah!
You do realize you're blocking my path.
I come not to obstruct you. I've been waiting. What you are truly is a weapon. One that could be wielded with an iron will. Or you can continue to drift aimlessly.
Are you trying to win me over?
Long-fated rebellion has begun. Why not take your place at the banquet and join those who shall feast?
Killjoy! We've only just begun!
Not breaking a sweat!
You can't run!
This may turn a little.
Don't be a killjoy! We've only just begun! I miscalculated.
अरे भाई साहब डब्बों में क्या कैसे भरा हुआ बस छोड़ नहीं सकते
This place is dark.
Gaming stuff. Thanks for subscribe.
Paimon knows this place. It's the Delusion Factory in Inazuma.
Okay.
In the original version of events,
such a creepy atmosphere. Hey, look over there.
Well, well, my fair lady. Is this rundown factory and these incompetent fools all...
What do you... Perhaps you...
Funny how negotiating never seems to be your strong suit. For the task ahead, I suggest you...
Save your breath.
I'm sure you think...
Surely.
I just can't have...
I merely... Do you remember the last time you were here? That was a lot of swordsmiths you killed. I'm sure the descendants of the Raiden Gokaden are still suffering the Look at you. By then, see you at the victory feast.
Poor little tongue? She's playing with fire. Forget it. Someone might find me here any minute now. I should prepare to give them a warm welcome.
the plot does not...
Yes.
Why are you staring at me in silence? Can't you think of a nicer way to express yourself?
I'm under no obligation to be nice to you. Besides, I thought nothing mattered to you except results in your own interests. Isn't that right, witch?
Muddle-headed puppet. You're only number 6 because you can take more abuse than other humans. Do you really count that as an asset?
You're about as much fun to be around as a raging inferno. But before we murder each other, it'd be best if we finish our duties.
There you are, evil.
Everyone hold hands!
The more...
Roll! I see everything!
Prepare yourself.
Fate is upon you. Look at me. Just
इतनी टफ टीम नहीं है, अपने पर इतनी कमजोर भी नहीं है। लड़ गया बनते इधर पे।
Looks like we've arrived in Sumeru. Is that?
Considering that Amorta's sage, Nafis.
Welcome.
When do we start?
You seem
the biologic... Nothing worse than...
You were the most resilient test subject I ever came across. Thanks to you. Alas, after that, you were under orders to remain in the abyss. We barely saw each other, and it became difficult to further refine the knowledge I had gained.
That was gracefully worded. Ever wonder what they think if they knew that nothing matters to you, apart from your crazy experiments?
I suggest you speak to me in a more respectful tone, Scaramouche. The mere fact of your utility does not make you indestructible.
The doctor again? That was uncomfortable to watch.
That person gives off a very sinister energy.
It's normal for him to give you the creeps. He scares the bejeebers out of Paimon.
Let's move on.
অ্যাপ বল তোমার অ্যাপ দেখার জন্য ব্যাস অ্যাপ অ্যাপ্লিকেশন কাছে আছে বাইরে চলে আসছে আঙুল টাঙুল লেগে আছে বাইরে চলে আসছে ভিতরে ঢেলছি বাপস
আচ্ছা ওটা সেই গুগলে গেলে তখন আসে না টুলসে গেলে
You're a god. Do you think I'm evil?
If you accept that he is you, just as you are you, then yes, you are evil.
In your eyes?
Do you think there are whoever had...
I've seen enough. No matter the consequences, I won't run from blame or punishment. Can you return my...
But Won't that mean you...
I've always believed that human as a puppet living.
Regaining your memory
एक्सपीरियंस मिल
sure
जाएगा
I've
पुरानी
lived with the
identity
void in
अगर
my
अपनी
chest,
मिलेगा।
but then I
सही
met
बात
you.
है।
I've always felt so I beg you.
Very well. Since you're mine. You have made your decision. Now, take this.
Take this.
Set him free.
A puppet? What's he doing here? You're a human as far as I'm concerned.
Everyone's here. Wonderful.
What a fine blade. Nagamasa will be thrilled.
This is my...
Is he alright?
बाला दिल अब देख यार भाई हमारी
All worthless dross will be purged. That's why this won't be the end.
ये कहाँ हुआ? मैं तो लिस्ट हम गिन रहा था।
Die.
Attitude पुरानी.
This is trying my patience. At my command, you shall fall. Too slow. Bow your head. Churn! The wind rises. Insignificant pest! Squall Fury! My endless cycle begins! I'm used to this.
मर जाएंगे लॉल जिंदा How the hell this is happening?
Imbecile! Get out of my sight.
It disappeared. Did we win?
What did you expect? I'd never lose to that.
There's the tone of voice again. You're definitely back to your old self. Wait, but it was you inside that thing too. What have you got to be smug about?
Sorry. I'm harsh on myself and everyone else. just the way I am. You sound like you're concerned about me.
Yes.
But don't worry. Thanks to you, even if I didn't change a thing, at least I now know the truth.
The memory recovery seems to have been a success. This dream has served its purpose.
Come on. Let's continue this outside.
बाल लड़ना है? Me, myself, but not I. सही है. नीचे ही नहीं जाने दिया.
Welcome back, traveler. Paimon, Balladeer.
It feels like we just went on a really long journey. Paimon's exhausted.
You don't like being addressed by that name?
It's fine. But after learning about everything, that I'm not planning on returning to the...
So, you're quitting the Fatui for good?
It's like you said, Lesser Lord Kusanali.
But that doesn't mean your own...
Of course.
And your main goal, for which you gave up everything you had. You weren't able to achieve it. I hope you can see in changing the world, what you were looking for is complete annihilation. But this is just a fantasy. Even if the Balladeer is removed from existence, the world...
Indeed.
Do you regret doing all...
Even if I'm complete Lesser Lord Kusanali, you purposely left that information in Irminsul.
Yes.
Why would you go...
In all honesty, your past experiences have made you a useful asset to Sumeru and to me. Winning you over was indeed a part of my plan. But before that, I wanted it...
Very clever.
I guess you could say that's what...
Utility to others is what gives me worth. So if embracing my sins is what it takes to make me useful again, so be it. Oh right, I almost forgot. You're the good guys. Sorry if I have a slightly different perspective on things, but I don't feel like I've been duped. The wisest leaders are fated to end up with the best helpers.
I'm glad you're able to think of it, traveler. In the future, including the beginning of your twins' journey recorded in Irminsul. What exactly happened before and after that point? I want to know as well. I will try.
Traveler. After I dove into the information torrents in Irminsul, why did you go to Inazuma? So that's how you found out whose fate had changed. And how? Well, whatever your reasons, you did me a favor. And I'll do everything I can to pay it back. Borrowing and returning are the only real relationships between individuals. I'll balance the books one day. Don't you worry.
That's not true. A relationship between two people is not simply a ledger that can be reset to zero. I think deep down you realize this. People who show up in your life don't just evaporate like water drops and leave nothing behind. There's some things in this world, everything that you feel is to be human is to live with imperfections.
But humans can't live...
You understand what pain is perfectly well, even without it. The past is set in stone, but you can keep moving on.
Sounds like you've got a future planned out for...
Everything's a...
Then I guess I'll be helping you from behind the scenes from now on.
सही है. ये भी
I'm
चलेगा.
glad that you've accepted our proposal. Why don't you choose a new name to celebrate?
Ooh! Paimon wants to pick an ugly nickname for you, too!
Why?
Because Paimon still doesn't like you that much.
Then I hope we don't see much of each other in the future.
A name is life's first gift. You didn't say it out loud, but I know that's what you're thinking. The Traveler and Paimon have helped you a lot. If you can't decide on a new name, maybe you can ask them for ideas.
No! Paimon only does nicknames. If it's a serious name you're after, it's all yours.
क्या नाम रखेगा? अच्छा इसी का मीम चल रहा था इतना.
Have you got anything?
वंडरर का नाम क्या रखे अपन? एनिमो हैट. एक मिनट रुको. ज़्यादा बड़ा नाम हो जाएगा. चलो.
Are you sure?
Yes.
Oh, all right.
मैंने रखा Blue Eyes नाम Japanese में.
There. Now you have a name of your own.
What about a nickname? Are you done yet?
Still thinking. Stop rushing me.
Take your time. I don't need to see you again until you've thought of one. Everyone who manipulated me and made me suffer will have to pay the price.
सही है, एकदम सही approach. सबको.
You mean the Fatui?
The doctor, at least.
Now that your stance has changed, I believe your future path will change.
One more thing. There are still some descendants of the Raiden Gokuden living in Inazuma. Some of them know. Well, they ought to know about the connection between Raiden Gokuden and myself. I don't plan to leave Sumeru for the time being. If you see them in Inazuma, please tell them that I was the one responsible for the Raiden Gokuden's downfall. Even though the events have been erased from the world, they still deserve to know the truth.
I see. That is up to you.
Huh? But if we do that, then...
It's fine. Let them stab their blades into my chest if they so desire. Maybe that's how it always should have been. No nonsense. I like it. All right, let's call it a day. Goodbye, wise deity. And you too.
He's gone.
What he went through today would have been like living an entire lifetime in an instant.
Yeah, true. But even so we can finally...
Thank you both.
Complete हुआ क्या chapter?
I've got it! I can end my novel with some words from Mikoshi Nagamasa.
You mean because everyone else in the story is dead?
Yeah, I heard that the Dark then won all these expressions. Life.
It's about time we had a break. As soon as you stop, all the tiredness and hunger comes rushing back. Wow, great! Huh? Look at the vase. Did someone break it while they were cleaning the room or something? But
You sound lost and confused.
रुको
I
दिवाते
know why you are troubled. Any who knew of this would find their mind overwhelmed.
Huh? Is there someone here talking to us?
Unfortunately, the fate of Tevat cannot easily be changed. Perhaps a god may have a slim chance, but for anyone else, who can say? When a small animal runs into a tree trunk, though the tree may sway, it is not displaced. The same is true of fate, like a vase that falls to the ground. Whether it is broken by a cat or by a bird, the result is still a broken vase, is it not?
बात तो बहुत भारी भरकम बोल दी.
How do you know about all this?
Okay.
History does not change easily, but human hearts can. Believe your own eyes. Only that which you see is true. What is unseen is but an illusion.
Okay.
The voice has disappeared. And who the heck was that? And what were they doing coming out of nowhere and saying all that scary stuff? Anyway, that feels wrong just leaving it.
चलो इन्वर्जन अब नेसिस खत्म हो गया. जेनेसिस ये कहाँ मिला हमको? ओके हम रखेंगे संभाल के. कितना दिन बचा? पेटी से कितना दूर है अपन? मैं और मेरा फूटा नसीब. यार रेडन मिल गई ना, सारी पीट लूँगा मैं अपना. मतलब यहाँ अगर वो मिल गया स्कार. Fox Rim, thanks for subscribe. चैप्टर कंप्लीट हो गया अपना ये वाला. ये वाला भी कर ही लेते हैं फटाफट.
Astra. Ready for our duel? All right, let the duel begin.
Same team.
Unlike the adventure challenge you tried previously, duels are true tests of strength between two players.
Okay.
In a duel, your opponent can also use action cards, and they'll also be able to grab new cards during an end phase. At the same time, your opponent must also spend elemental dice to take actions, so you'll be unable to view their intent. Are you ready? It's time for some exhilarating fights to the bitter end. Musa!
Musa. हम स्टार्ट करेंगे डीलोग चिचा से.
Let's finish this swiftly.
Okay. मारो नसीब इच फूटेला है. सेलेक्ट डीलोग किया अपन ने और अटैक के लिए अपने पास है ही नहीं. तू ही मार ले भाई, मैं क्या ही करूं. मेरा डीलोग लुढ़क जाएगा ऐसे चलता है तो. हमको पत्ते ही समझ में नहीं आ रहे, हम तो बड़ा अजीब सा ही खेल रहे हैं अभी. ये क्या हुआ? हमारा डीलो उड़ने वाला है। 9 बज गए।
Where did I go?
Darn. I didn't factor that into the equation.
ओके, हम भी निपटने वाले हैं, कोई बड़ी बात नहीं है। फिर अपना टर्न चाहिए करने के लिए फेज ही एंड हो गया पूरा। अरे कछू ढंग का मिल।
Where did I go?
ये लोग पहले पिस गए बेचारा। एनिमो का है, एनिमो यूज करते अपन।
Okay. One character card defeated. Absorption test. उसको क्यों मार रहा भाई? काया को ठोकना था। पायरो मिले जा रहा है। काम चला लेंगे इससे। Enhanced animal module 75.
काया को मारना था, कहाँ किसको मार रहे? काया को क्यों नहीं मार पा रहा मैं? बाउंसर ही आ रहा मेरे को ये गेम में डेंड्रो दे दी थी भाई
Animal test 6308.
मेरे को ज्यादा डैमेज तू ही खा
Freeze!
I can do it.
मारो अरे ये
Animal test 6308. My research.
हमारे हिसाब से क्यों अटैक नहीं कर सकते?
I wasn't expecting that. Swirl, Mark 2!
I'm not done.
पता नहीं कैसे जीत
Every decision is a difficult...
That's not how the rules...
Oh, I am... But it was a fun match.
Paimon didn't know you could get so competitive.
I always get... It's like that with my research.
Playing cards is...
But...
a losing... Besides, Sucrose, you're...
Thank you.
Good.
I'll definitely...
Alright. I think you should... Burning monster...
I see. So you have now grasped the rules of G...
That's right! The trap...
Sobering words from Prince there. But I'm afraid... Yes, basically.
So...
I agree.
Same way...
A well-trained sucrose. Oh yes, my goodness! Completely slipped my mind. I'm lucky to have Prince here to remind me.
Oh, Tamae's...
Oh, that's right! So the cast... Oh! Paimon can guess what you...
That would mean it.
Darn! What a letdown. Alright.
Probably for the... Okay, so go...
But even for the...
Excellent plan.
मार्गरेट के पास जाना है क्लेम करने के लिए. ओके चलते हैं अपन.
Hey!
तो भागिएगा पौधों को पानी डालने से बड़े हो जाते हैं.
Hello, you three. Ah, I see you're.
So this is a...
That's right.
Yeah, well...
True. So I'm glad you're not wrong.
All right. In that case, I'll go, thanks.
तीन ही तो कार्ड है मेरे पे. नोएल का कार्ड झकास लग रहा है.
I'm sorry. Is there any...
We want to become...
Oh, I see you're serious. So be it. Then let the...
हिलीचुअल वाले कार्ड इसके पास. नाइस.
Let's go.
Round 1. Fight. क्या पायरो का लेके आओ. पायरो ही नहीं मिलना है. हेलो. चूतिया पाओगे. इतने अच्छे मिले थे कार्ड.
Gosh, I lost. You're remarkably good at this, considering how new to the game you are. Let's play again when you have...
We did it! Now we have 2 victories under our belt. Let's get back to the cat's tail. Paimon wonders who Prince is gonna pick as our final contestant.
Not just Prince.
He won't lose to them, whoever it is. Right, Traveler?
What ho, fellow voyager of the stellar void. Step.
Pardon my...
Huh?
Official.
That's what Prince...
Who else but the princessin? For as the... This path is a treacherous one. It must be... That is why none...
Oh!
Indeed.
Oh, that's true. Ah, this makes sense then.
Main Freud.
So there's a...
Indeed. Main Fräulein.
What say you, Outlander? Do you wish to make an enemy of me, the Princessin de Vertelung, who even now begins to strum the string? Then I...
हो बेनेट है इसके पास क्या बात है फिशल और बेनेट के कार्ड क्या मिलेंगे हमें स्विच कर सकते थे पर ने करा नहीं चलो कोई बात नहीं
Let's finish this swiftly.
DPS ही आएगा पहले और इसका नसीब फूटा हुआ है एक्स्ट्रा डैमेज देगा बेनेट
Oz, reveal thyself!
तो भी फटका मार के जाते जाते ये कैसा आया भाई जियो है नहीं और इतना जियो आ रहा बताओ फोकट का मारे जा रहा मेरे को। नोएल मिली है, पता नहीं कुछ काम आएगी कि नहीं। घुमा फिरा के वही मिली।
One shall. This is but a small sacrifice necessary to achieve ultimate victory.
Cool it!
स्वॉर्ड वाला अब आया है। अब क्रायो चाहिए।
Get out of here!
Cool it! Freeze!
This is just... What happened? Oz! With lightning twixt upper and lower mandible. Strike thy pointy beak into this obstacle and remove it from my path!
Mein Fräulein, I cannot simply attack the traveler.
स्क्रॉल में स्विच कर लेंगे कैरेक्टर, हमारा डीलो को उड़ा देगा। पायरो मिलेंगे क्या थोड़ी सी?
Freeze!
Let's finish this swiftly. Time for retribution!
बच गया मेरे को लगा उसी को उड़ाएगा
This doesn't look good.
जीत गए
Impossible! Ugh, the cursed dragon looms near once more, casting its dark shadow on the slender traveler.
What a truly...
Congratulations! You've won 3 to...
Yeah!
Yep. I...
Nice! It seems I am too
Main Fräulein.
Wow! It's Fischl's character!
Tis a mere token.
Oh,
Nothing would delight me more.
one other thing. When I got back, Prince and Shuyan said there was something they needed to give you.
Probably not. Oh, but let's go get him!
With 3 electro dice, I summon my eternal familiar, Osvaldo Hrafnavine, to my side. Heed my invocation!
But, Main Fräulein, I have been by your side all along.
Ah, so it was... The first, this handbook. Secondly. And thirdly, whenever you wish to play a game with a friend, you can... Yes, it's right by the bar counter. Once you get the... That's it, really? Yes, indeed. Hope you have...
ओहो यहाँ से कार्ड ले सकते हैं इतने महंगे कार्ड अच्छा नेक्स्ट लेवल महंगे कार्ड तो Character invitation letter. गानी 4000 में भाई साहब, यहाँ 200 पॉइंट है अभी। चार 4000 में साइनो 5 लेवल पे खुलेंगे सारे। बेनेट प्रीमोजेम्स यहाँ से मिलेंगे अपने को। चलो अभी के लिए इतना ही।